Hello everybody, welcome back. So it looks like everything's just basically static, and there hasn't really been any move up actually yesterday from Bitcoin or alts or anything actually. So I mean that is the weekend, I suppose, for you. So it doesn't matter if you had a good setup, and we did actually have a good setup on Ethereum. I was checking it this morning. I mean, it still technically exists. Golden Cross got retested on simple moving averages, so it's still in play. Technically, still in play. It is still there. Same sort of thing for Bitcoin, although you could nudge down, just as we were saying yesterday. XRP, similar kind of situation. And I'm guessing that if you're a member of the Patreon, we'll be looking at a lot of other altcoins tonight, and we'll see whether or not they look like this, or if they've broken down, or they never had this in the first place. No altcoin is created equal, as we like to say sometimes. So static, sideways, and boring. You can even see that even more on the 1 hourly. So the 1 hourly basically has got a death cross just recently on their simple moving averages, meaning that for Bitcoin, 116,000 now is a very short-term time frame support. Resistance, basically resistance. So actually, when you're looking at this, you got a very small range, and you're looking for it to break one way or another. And until it breaks in one direction, we don't really know exactly which way it's going to go. Again, we're below the cloud, we're below the center of a Bollinger Band. So even on the 1 hourly and with the death cross, it does favor a little bit further down. Just on a 1 hourly, by the way. So again, we're not talking like plummeting chaos moves or anything, but the 1 hourly favors that. Now we do have a leading portion of the cloud over here, which is red now on Bitcoin. And again, being below all these short-term time frame moving averages and holding above the 50, if we lose the 50, you're talking 114,300, and then obviously down to this golden cross down here, 113,000. So you've got supports on the way down on the 4 hourly for Bitcoin, but they're massive. They're all the way down here. Can we sustain a 1.36% move down? I hope so. If we can't, then it's going down. We're going to dump 2.37. So you can see that even structurally, despite being in a bullish, setup, which it is with supports below us, which are bullish on short-term timeframes, the moves down to them are tiny. They're so small. Really small. Same thing with Ethereum, really. So we like to think of crypto as like really volatile, but the first move down on the 4 hourly is going to be 0.77, and then the last one would be 2.18. So tiny moves, really tiny, not really big at all. So, and again, that's just into supports. That's all we're talking about. If you start losing these areas, then it would be more. But again, you make these videos in the morning. So I make them. Just because I'm looking at this stuff anyway. And I generally wouldn't make an update in the day, there's no point, but this is how it is right now, so I'm not predicting the forecast indefinitely based on what I see right now. Obviously things change, but at the moment still resistance here, support here and here, so it's a game of support and resistance, as it always is. So that's basically the situation. Moving over to XRP, it's a game of resistance up here at $3.03 and support down here at 2.95 really. It's $2.95. About points. We are curling up on the money flow index here quite nicely, and so I think that we're looking to put lows in soon rather than just break down. I think it's more likely that we do move up than go down lower than these supports, but who the hell knows? I don't know. Sundays again being my worst day to trade. I generally don't trade, just out doing stuff with the kids or whatever, but if there were to be a bad day to trade, it's usually Sunday. Whatever you get given in the morning usually gets given back in the day. And we've seen a little bit of something being given to us overnight, really. We've seen a move on XRP, a huge move of 1.5% into a rejection, so basically a 21 exponential. So that might be it for the day, really. We might find ourselves sort of falling back down and seeing where we open on Monday, really. Again, things start to look a little more interesting on Sunday nights because you've got commodities open, you've got Forex open, tonight, late night. It gives you a little indication of what the traditional markets are going to look like when they open up. So the pre-market begins obviously in the morning, and then obviously main markets open. We're talking US markets, obviously tomorrow afternoon. So, you're looking at bit by bit in dribs and drabs, more predominant markets opening up, from tonight onwards. So this is often the quietest period of the week for me when it comes to trading. I basically look at it, make a video, and leave it at that. And then obviously I do my streams in the evening to try and anticipate what I think it's going to look like based on what we expect the close to look like, which will be at midnight tonight, basically. But basically, yeah, that is it. So I don't really have any reason to doubt the overall projection of continuous moves up, generally speaking. Again, just looking at these top main three, you've got Bitcoin, so we've got Ethereum still above the 20 moving average, means more likely to remain above there. You've got Bitcoin also the same, so you've got Bitcoin above the 10, 21 and the 20, more likely to remain above there. Again, it's just statistical likelihood, that's all. And then you've got Ethereum basically, back down and still above the 20 and the 21, which again, more likely to remain above there. So you've got all of those things more likely to remain at this level or higher. And Bitcoin can come down a little bit, but as far as I'm concerned, the statistical chance of continuation to upside, so new local highs, maybe even new all-time highs on Ethereum and XRP, are more likely than a breakdown. Again, it's just more likely, not guaranteed, more likely, more likely. That's all I'm saying. So that is basically it. Boring video, I know, but when there's nothing to really report on, it's just a health check, that's all we're doing. That is your health check for the day, really. And it'll be way more interesting to see how we close tonight and how we open up tomorrow. Because I don't see any reason why we shouldn't expect the trend to continue to move up. So that is that. Nothing much more to say than that. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.